Welcome back. My name is Matt Reiners, and I'm the co-founder of Eversound, a company that was acquired by Uniguest that is committed to developing engagement technologies to help communities connect and improve quality of life for older adults. Today, I'm joined by my friend Claire Travis, the Trilogy Travel Club support at Trilogy Health Services. That is a tongue twister right there. I love it though. Claire has been a life enrichment director, a memory care director, assisted living administrator, a regional support for life enrichment and memory care, an area vice president, and now heading up the Trilogy Travel Club. Thanks for joining me today, Claire.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Matt. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here too. And I know you had sent me some stuff about the travel club, so I'm excited to jump into that. Before we do, though, Claire, I know I kind of ran through some of the different positions you've had, but I'd love for you to share your background and how you got into senior living.
Sure. Yeah. So I like to tell people that my career kind of started at the age of 14. So I was going to church and my parents put me into this, faith formation. And the first thing we had to do was go sing Christmas carols at a nursing home. And I was not excited about it. I was like, oh, I don't want to go to this nursing home and hang out with these old people. And um, I went and I just loved it. And I just fell in love with these seniors and one senior in particular who was blind. And as I was singing these Christmas carols to her, tears were streaming down her face. And in that moment, I was an awkward teenager. I was 14, and it was something clicked for me. And so I continued volunteering there all through college. And yeah, I graduated with a degree in psychology, and I kind of was like, what am I going to do with this? And it just kind of made sense. So I started off as a life enrichment director in the industry, but I always like to say it really captured my heart at the age of 14.
I love that. It's great when you can find that out so early too, because I didn't discover senior living
Mm-hmm.
until I was like 25, 26, and it definitely captured my heart at that point
Yeah.
too. Um,
Yes.
and we won't ask you to sing on this either, Claire, so no more Christmas carols or anything.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah.
So my next question here for you, can you introduce the Trilogy Travel Club and explain its mission, especially in the context of serving senior travelers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really lucky. I am the person that's kind of heading it up now, but it originally started in 2018 by Rhonda Sanders Simmons. She's our chief customer service operator at Trilogy. She's been around since the inception of the company. And yeah, this was like a passion project for her. She was actually traveling herself with her family and witnessed and saw an adult child with their loved one, their parent who was a senior, and they were struggling, And so Rhonda really just, that she took that to heart. She came back to Trilogy and she thought, what can we do here at our company to help support this? So she's the one that created this. This really was a passion project for her. And so I'm now really lucky and I get to continue that and I'm really enjoying it. So and to kind of answer your question about the mission of what we're doing here, it really is to help the resident to gain confidence and continue to thrive. I think a lot of times as we get older, we can think, well, I'm kind of like slowing down in life and all of that. And if you want to, sure, you can, but it is a choice. And a lot of people don't want to slow down. They want to keep traveling, keep experiencing new things. So that's what the Trilogy Travel Club is there for, is to allow our residents to thrive and continue to see the world and have new experiences.
Yeah, I love that because I think, we're all kind of in this mindset of, right, like let's work for 40 or 50 years and then we can go and travel and
Yeah.
see the world. But, there might be some of those
Yes.
limitations that prevent us from doing that. So love that you guys are able to offer this up to your residents. And I'm wondering, the way that you guys are thinking about it, how does it address the specific needs and the preferences really of these senior travelers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll start with the needs. So we have residents who obviously have mobility limitations, or maybe they require like oxygen, and um, that doesn't matter. Like okay, you have these quote limitations, but for us, it's no problem. We will take you traveling. We've had residents travel that needed O2, that obviously, can't walk more than a few steps. Maybe they need a motorized wheelchair. So we take care of all of that for them. We don't let their needs become limits, and so that's, I think, something super exciting. It gets me very excited, because I love telling people just, you can do things. We don't think in that can't mindset. Like, how can we make this happen? And so that's something Rhonda really has instilled in this club, and that's something we're continuing. So that's the needs piece. And then as far as just their preferences, when Rhonda started the group, she started a committee, and so she involved residents and said, "Hey, like, where do you guys want to go? How do you want to facilitate this?" And Rhonda's great at that. She's always been really good at getting the input of everyone and making sure that she's hearing everyone and everyone feels seen and feels heard. So the Trilogy Travel Club, it started with Rhonda. It was her passion project, but she very quickly, as soon as she knew she wanted to do this, she grabbed residents. She asked residents for help and asked their input. And so that's how we continue. We ask our residents where they want to go, what they want to do. And yeah, that's how we meet their needs and their preferences.
That's awesome. I love that. And yeah, I've gotten the chance to know Rhonda over the years, and she's super special and super passionate. So it's great that you can kind of continue to
Yeah.
bring that vision and mission to life here. And I'm sure, as part of these trips, you probably have come out with some memorable stories or experiences that was organized by the Trilogy Travel Club. And I was just wondering if you could share anything that highlights the impact that it's had on seniors, your residents, yeah, really anybody.
Yeah, sure. So I myself have not personally gone on a trip yet. My first trip is going to be this June when we go to Colorado. But I
Fun.
did, talk to Rhonda, and yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait. We have 22 people signed up to go, so it's going to be awesome. Um, but yeah, Rhonda was just sharing with me, that she's had so many residents over the years since she started this that have gone on these amazing trips. And there's one resident in particular, Bev. There's a great picture of her. She's sitting in front of the cruise ship. She has her O2. She needed that to go on this trip. And of course, it's not easy. I mean, as much as, it's, you want to say it is, it's not necessarily always easy when you do have certain needs to go on a trip. But Bev loved it. She said that she just loved being able to put her feet in the sand and be on the beach. And she's like, it's not easy for me because I have these needs, this O2. I have needs for oxygen, but the fact that we were able to get her on the cruise, get her on the beach, get her feet in the sand, and get her in the water just meant so much to her. And so I think it's moments like that, and there's many other stories like that of just residents that are so thankful and become advocates themselves. I mean, we have travelers that are traveling to Colorado that have gone on other trips with us. So reoccurring travelers, and we have people that have been on trips and are just advocates for the travel club and try to get other people to go in their campuses because they're like, it's such a great experience, you have to try it. And so I think that speaks for itself when you have residents encouraging other residents to go. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
love that. And it's so powerful to probably experience those. And I imagine too, some of these residents are going into it thinking that they'll never experience that again, right? And like kind of like
Yeah.
do
Yes.
some of the stuff that was thought to be a limit or a parameter in the past, but able to give those new
Yes.
experiences, right? Like that's what life's all about.
Yes.
Um, and
Yes.
Claire, I would love to ask, just like from a more holistic view, like in what ways does travel benefit seniors physically, mentally, emotionally? I mean, you kind of touched on a little bit, but is there anything else you'd want to add to that?
Oh yeah, I love that question. That's such a great question. So there are so many benefits to travel, just so many benefits to travel. And I'm obviously highly biased. I personally love to travel. I've been traveling since I was a young child, but there's so many research journals on this. There's so much data. Traveling, well, first I'm just going to say this if it's okay, like dementia and Alzheimer's, that's a huge, I mean, a lot of our residents have some form of dementia. So I would say about 80% of our residents, in varying degrees and stages. And what's so great about what we can do is that while we cannot cure Alzheimer's and non-reversible dementias at this time, we can alleviate the symptoms of them. And that's kind of sometimes a unknown fact, I would say, in the industry. and especially outside of the industry, right? And so, how do we do that? Through novelty learning, through increasing neuroplasticity in the brain. And novelty learning is just learning something new, having a new experience. I don't know if anyone has had this experience. I've had it myself, but it's like right before I'm about to go on a trip, I'm like, how am I going to go on this trip? I'm already exhausted. I've got to pack. I mean, throwing all this stuff in the suitcase, right? Or like you've got stuff at work piling up, or you're just feeling that overwhelmed feeling and you're just like, I don't know if I can do this. And then you go on the trip, you have this experience, whatever it is, hopefully a new, exciting experience. And you come back and you just feel relaxed. And you're like, so odd. Right before I went on this trip, I felt like I couldn't do it. I was overwhelmed. And then now I'm back. And all that's changed is I've had a new experience. And so, really, that's what's so amazing about traveling is it's a new experience. It increases neuroplasticity. It gets our neurons firing, and it's healthy for the brain. And so it can help alleviate the symptoms of dementia, depression, anxiety, um, all different things. So there's so many benefits mentally, physically. It's obviously just good to get out, especially if you're going out, getting some sun, getting some vitamin D. There's so many benefits to that. Then also just emotionally, socially, meeting new friends, bonding. We have, residents that know each other from traveling together. And so there's just, I can't see any downsides, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so many benefits to travel all around.
Yeah, I think the only downside to travel is you've got connecting flights, travel's getting, flights getting canceled. But other than that, I mean, that's kind of just comes with the territory. But other than that, I mean,
That's
yeah, it sounds,
true. Yeah.
yeah. That's all I experience in my work travel. But no, it's so cool what you guys are doing and on these opportunities that you're able to give. And, I know you had mentioned going to Colorado in June. Are there any other trips that you guys are planning on later this year or next year?
Yeah, so we have a Mississippi River cruise coming up in October, which we're really excited about. We're just starting to promote that right now, and then we are currently planning our 2025 trips. We want to have 4 trips next year, so we want to get those planned by June of this year, and then start promoting. So, and as far as planning those trips, again, we're asking our residents where do they want to go, and so it's kind of exciting to get that planned out as well.
I love that. And what advice would you give to older adults who are hesitant to travel, whether due to health concerns, financial constraints, or just simply that lack of confidence?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, go for it. you know, I think sometimes, the only way to build confidence is to put yourself out there, and it is scary and it's going to feel a little bit nerve wracking, and that's totally normal. But yeah, I would just say, like, put yourself out there, and maybe you don't go on a big trip right away. Maybe you kind of do an overnight trip, like if this is for someone living alone, or maybe you could do an overnight trip or something like that, kind of build your confidence. But I think if anyone has the ability, to travel with a group of seniors, I mean, there's lots of awesome programs out there. I would really encourage you to do it. And the great thing too about traveling in a group setting is someone is taking care of a lot of these things for you, door to door service. So it's an all inclusive trip. We take care of transfers, gratuities, insurance. We book the flights. And so you don't have to worry about anything. And that's kind of the nice thing. You just you're kind of along for the ride, for the experience. And someone else is doing all the behind the scenes stuff and those, stressful things. So, and then as far as memories, I just want to add one last thing here.
Yeah, of course.
It's very cliche. We hear it a lot. You can't take it with you. And so I think when I think back on my own life and traveling, I think of the amazing memories I've made with my family, and um, those core memories I will always have, and they're so beautiful. And so I think that's something that's really cool about. Especially the trip we have coming up in Colorado. We actually have a group of 10 going from one family. So we have
Wow.
grandma going, who is a memory care resident. We have grandma's daughter, grandma's friend, grandma's grandkids. It's like a whole group. And I just love that, because that's what we want to do. We want to not only allow the resident to go, but their family, to create this amazing memory. And the daughter, Linda, who is kind of encouraged the whole family to get on board with this, she's like, I'm just so excited because my family's going to have this amazing memory with my mom. And it's just going to be treasured forever. So I would just encourage you, you can't take all the money with you. Um, but you can pass on, it's like a legacy thing. You can pass on these great experiences to your grandkids and your family. So I think
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I love that, and the entire family going together, and yeah,
Yeah.
those experiences become those memories, and to your point about legacy, like that lasts with you for the rest of your life. So it's super cool.
Yes.
Um, and
Yeah.
then my last question here for you, Claire, and you could take it the travel way, any other way. You've been around senior living and in this industry for a while now, but if you were to give other senior living providers just three guiding principles as we move through the rest of the year, what would you say?
Well, I would love to challenge other senior living providers to do this if you're not already doing this. I think this is something that every senior living provider can absolutely do. And I would encourage you to get your residents together. Get a committee going. Start talking about it. Where could we go, and then from there talking about budgets and how can we make sure to break even, and just start the conversation really, because your residents, most likely there are residents you have that want to travel, and I think to not offer those opportunities is really a disservice. So I know that's kind of strong, but I'm just throwing it out there. Like let's give our residents these opportunities, and how great if you can provide it yourself as a senior living provider. So that would be my challenge. Sorry, that's not really three principles, but
Hey,
I'm
quality over
I'm
quantity.
gonna end.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Well, Claire, I just want to thank you for coming on and just doing the awesome work you guys are doing with Trilogy Travel Club. I can feel your passion through this conversation and just know that you're doing such important work, and it's awesome you're able to keep Rhonda's mission and vision going here and help so many people and give these lasting memories that will last forever. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
If you'd like to know when we post the next episode, make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. If you're interested in how Eversound can help improve the quality of life in your community, find out more at eversoundhq.com.